Hello and welcome back to the channel. A joyous and jubilant day for the Sky Blues and Coventry City at Vicarage Road, and a sombre one for those Watford fans inside the stadium as well. Frank Lampard giving it fist pumps towards the away end at the final whistle, and the Watford players receiving boos during their lap of honour, or as I've nicknamed it, their lap of dishonour towards the club. Look, that defeat was entirely expected. I actually thought we were let off a bit lightly by Coventry City. I felt that whilst they had a very good performance and they knocked the ball around nicely, they were in second and third gear for the majority of that football match. They could have stepped it up a few tiers if they wanted to, and even then, Watford still struggled to contain them. Ellis Simms securing a real good hat-trick, probably one of the best I've seen at Vicarage Road, not helped by some real sloppy defending at times by the entire back line. I know Matty Pollock was named as player of the season, but yeah, I don't think he takes much credit. Watching that back today, the header first off was very good by Ellis Simms. He placed it into the far corner. The second, what a rocket from distance. Egil Selvik getting nowhere near it, and then his third goal as well was a real poacher's finish, again right in front of them Coventry fans. And the fourth goal, oh my goodness, right off the crossbar and in the back of the net too. So look, Coventry City showing why they are the pomp of the Championship at the moment. They very much deserve their promotion to the Premier League, and I wish them all the best. Their fans, to me today, were nothing but gracious. I thought they were excellent and did their club and their community and their town and city very, very proud. So yeah, big props and a massive praise needed for Coventry City. There has to be question marks, of course, once again over Ed Steele's team selection, although at this point it doesn't really matter. We know as fans that he's due to leave any moment now. It could have very well happened as I sit here recording this video, so it's only a matter of time. I think we saw with Tom Cleverley last year that, of course, he managed his final game on the Saturday, and then I think Tom was gone by kind of the Tuesday afternoon. So give it a couple of days, and I think Ed will be gone, of course, as the national media has already reported. I am disappointed, though, slightly in him today. I did think that he could have got a bit of credit in the bank with the Watford fans if he just played a few more academy players and included them in the match day squad. We had Edu Kayembe starting in that number 10 role, and he's out of contract this summer. Non-Police Mendy in midfield as well. Saba Goglachitse, he hasn't lit it up at all since he arrived. He's a loanee from Udinese, and by all accounts, not very well liked by the Watford fan base. Why is he starting ahead of Mark Boller, for example, who is a permanently contracted player? Jack Reeves, one of our own, on the bench. Amin Nabazada, not in the squad at all. So in that regard, I was disappointed with Ed. I felt he could have given more fringe players a chance to impress ahead of next season. As I said, though, at this stage, it doesn't matter. He is on the way out. When that will happen, we'll have to see. As I said, I think it will follow a similar trend to Tom Cleverley as we saw last season. It might even happen tomorrow, actually, on Sunday. So yeah, look, I wish Ed nothing but the best for the rest of his career. You can tell that as a person, he wanted to do well here, as does every manager, right? But the reality of football, and especially the reality of working for Watford, is that you don't get given a lot of time. You have to make the most of it whilst you're here. And whilst I'm sure we can attribute a lot of Ed's failures to those above him and the culture at the club, as a manager, as a head coach, he does also have to take responsibility for the mistakes he made as well. And I'm sure he'll undergo a period of self-reflection. So look, again, I wish Ed nothing but the best. I did feel, though, he could have got his team selection a little bit better today in hindsight. But hey-ho, we're done now. Just finally, before I wrap up, I woke up this morning to the news that our chairman and CEO, Scott Duxbury, had issued, ladies and gentlemen, a club statement. It was miraculous. For the first time in a long time, Scott Duxbury has made, you guessed it, a public statement. Wow. I was actually going to issue a missing persons request. He had been gone for so long. But look, in all seriousness, Scott had to come out and issue something to the fans, as it was the end of the season. And to be fair to him, he has done so every year for as far as I can remember since he's been at the club. So it was expected that we would hear something from him today. And to be honest, we didn't learn anything new, really. He said what we've all been saying, really, which is, in hindsight, back in the summer, the recruitment wasn't as good as we made it out to be. He also noted the need to bring in leaders and players who have had experience in this division specifically, which is good to hear. That's what we want to hear as Watford fans. The problem is, until we see this in action, it's all empty words at this stage. I think we've had so much failure now for such a long time and so many promises broken that it's going to be extremely difficult for anyone at the club to get us fans back on side. It's going to take a real kind of monumental shift to really change the course and trajectory of how we function as a footballing institution. It's not just recruitment that needs to change. There was no mention in Scott's statement of the three managers we've been through this season. Ed Steele, our current head coach, wasn't referenced by Scott at all, which is pretty damning in itself. Now, maybe that's Scott subtly saying that he doesn't have anything to do with the head coach recruitment. He's putting that more so on João Luca or Gino Pozzo. But yeah, I don't know. I just found it a little bit bizarre once again, Scott Duxbury. Look, he said the right things. It was a classic kind of PR statement, really, is the way I read it. He echoed the thoughts of the fans, tried to relate to them on a human level, said, of course, we're all disappointed with how the season has gone. Obviously, next year we want it to be better, etc., etc. So for me, it was just a load of fluff, not too much substance to it. As I said, we need to see what they're saying in action. And of course, as I said, it's not just our recruitment strategy that needs to change. It's everything from Gino Pozzo downwards and trying to create and forge a winning culture for whoever steps into that dugout next. I'll leave it there for today. Thank you so much once again for watching. I really appreciate your time. As always, it's been a difficult watch at times this season. It's certainly been the worst I've seen since I started supporting the club. And for me, what is more frustrating is that I no longer really connect with the group of players either. When I was growing up, I idolised the squad. You had Gomez in goal, you had Mate Vidra, Guardiola, Troy Deeney, Sebastian Prodel, Holebas. I could go on and name so many more. Whereas with this team at the moment, I don't think there's a singular player really who I can connect to on a human level. And that for me is the biggest shame. I think we all go to football as an escape from real life. And at the moment, I'm finding real life a lot better than the football, which is slightly concerning. But hopefully, fingers crossed, the only way is up. Although in football, as I said, there is no hiding place. We've seen Leicester City this season, who won the Premier League 10 years ago, get relegated to League One. Tottenham Hotspur, one of the biggest and well-known clubs in the world. If it goes wrong for them, they could be in the Championship in just a couple of weeks. Luck can only take you so far, and Watford have to get it right this summer to avoid a catastrophe and disaster. Thank you for watching, and I'm sure I'll catch you again very soon when Ed Steele is relieved of his duties. Bye-bye.